All right, so now time for the fun stuff, synthesis. So what we want to do here is take multiple steps to create more complex products, right? So before we can do synthesis, we need to know the single step, all of the single step reactions, right? So you can have this on a note card or something, but over time, you definitely want to essentially have it memorized. But really, you should memorize it through working problems, right? Don't just sit there and memorize them, but memorize it through learning problems, right? But in order to do multi-step synthesis, you need to know how to do all of these single step stuff. The other thing that you want to think about is retrosynthesis. And so what we say about this is to think backwards. So let's go ahead and take a look at a type of problem. So let's say I asked you if you could start off with just benzene, and these arrows mean multiple steps, not necessarily two, just multiple, and end up with this product, right? 1 bromo, 3 nitro. How would you do so, right? So what you want to think about here generally is to think backwards, right? So we could think of doing this in essentially just two different ways. Either we could have added the nitro group last, or we could have added the bromine group last. So let's take a look at what happened if we added the nitro group last. So if we add the nitro group in this step, that means that our bromo group was already there. But if we think about bromo, the bromo is going to be an ortho para director, and so our nitro group should go ortho para. You can see that they're meta to one another, so this reaction cannot happen, right? We can't go through this synthetic pathway. The other way we can think about it as well, what if we added the bromine last? That means that our nitro group was already there. As we know, a nitro group is an electron withdrawing group, so it's going to direct meta to one another. And in this case, we can see that the bromine is meta to the nitro group. So in this case, this synthetic pathway would work, right? So what we would add here is some Br2 and then FeBr3 as our catalyst. And then finally, to get to this nitro group, that's just a single step reaction. We know that step. You just add some nitric acid in the presence of sulfuric acid. So overall, this is a lot like a puzzle. We'll make it more complex in the next parts, but really this comes down to practice, practice, practice. And if you take your time and really try to learn it, it can be fun. It's just like a puzzle.